The minute I heard they were redoing the medieval town square, I was ready. I missed out getting the original back in 2009 and regretted it when I saw it on store shelves 15 years ago. Here we are now with a re-imaging of that set, and it's bigger and better for sure in many ways. Am I totally in love with it? Not completely. I'll talk about that, but first, let's look at what we get. Rocking 3,304 pieces, it's a large set with what I consider four major components, comprising of a town tree, two large buildings, and finally a load of extra builds. What I'm surprised to see is that for a premium set, we get stickers and no real printed elements. Perhaps with this many prints, it just made more sense to use a sticker sheet than a load of printed pieces. Of course, what Lego Castle set wouldn't be complete without some townsfolk. Included are 8 minifigures, a far cry from the 22 included with the Lion Knight's castle. The minifigures here are a diverse cast including a mustachioed Lion Knight's guard, the town tax collector who gives off a very Sheriff of Nottingham vibe, a maiden with her lovely gown, a painter who looks to be decorating some of the shields for the knights, a carpenter with a whole bunch of tools, this grayed-haired weaver, a young cheesemaker, and my favorite and an unexpected addition, a member of the Wolf Pack. Now, the Wolf Pack was an obscure Lego Castle collection of only 4 sets from the early 1990s. Here is a comparison of an original Wolf Pack figure with the more detailed printing on this new rendition. I really liked this throwback. Now, the side builds included are definitely plentiful enough and help make the town square feel busy and bustling with activity. Mentioned prior are the tools and equipment used by the town carpenter, who seems to be fashioning chairs, which were seen earlier in the Lion Knight's castle, as well as this pull cart stocked with what I assume is a barrel full of some yellow liquid. This should have really been a full stagecoach, perhaps visiting royalty or dignitaries. Also for the carpenter is a lathe, tool rack, a work desk, all being quick and simple builds with nothing blowing my mind. And honestly, they don't really fit in the buildings well, and having them out on the street seems odd. They should have been built into a larger carpenter's shop and feel like they add fluff to the set and no real substance. I do like this cheese stand, however, for our local artisan cheesemaker, who has a space in one of the buildings and this side build to sell his produce. It feels right at home in this town square, with its red and white awning and decked out table of cheeses and breads for sale. Lastly, for our side builds is this tree by a stream, complete with vegetation. Ooh, a frog. It has some stickers for the wanted posters as well as a warning sign for a dragon knight. I like this one too. However, shouldn't there be like a well? What medieval town doesn't have a well? Moving on to the first structure, we have what seems to be 3 buildings in one. The first being the workshop for our weaver. Outside is a garden with lots of vegetables and even a beehive. The door to the shop is a nice touch to help break it up versus the other more standard Lego doors included. Inside, it's very well done with rolls of thread and a loom, which is creating a mural of what seems to be the old yellow castle and jousting sets. This should have been a printed element and not a sticker in my opinion. Next to the weaver shop is the carpenter's. This is a 2-story shop, and while yes, you can fit all the carpenter's tools and side builds in, it does fill up pretty quickly. Now this really should have been a bit bigger, or at least not have so many side builds. I do like the blue and white awning on the back. The second level appears to be storage for our carpenter, housing some materials as well as a few play features for lowering a ladder as well as controlling the pulley for getting items in and out of the storage. The roof is clever, using these 90-degree supports, a little sparse on the top for texture, but acceptable. Next is our cheese shop. Now this is what I expect from a Lego building. Lots of space for our cheesemaker to cook with stove and fireplace. Counter space for all his creations, along with a cat and milk and even seating. Outside we have a small paddock with a fence, a gate and water trough for our animals. Included is our gray goat and a squirrel friend. What, no cow? Heck, the original town square had 2, with a horse even. I guess this is all goat cheese? On the outside, I like the look of this structure as a whole, as it's broken up with the white and black look for the Weaver Studio, the stone castle look for the carpenter shop, and the timber framework for the cheesemaker's kitchen. The next building is the busiest. On the front we have lots of different structural elements, most eye-catching of which being the castle turret where our resident Lion Knight guard keeps watch. Next to the tower is a red plaster and wood-framed house. The color really helps this building pop out, along with the contrasted pale straw roof. The outside has some vegetation and side tree complete with this clever use of the beard piece for the bird's nest. The tavern entrance is grand, with this stone step entrance complete with torches and headed by these axes and helmet, with the windows on the second and third floor hearkening again to the original town square. Ooh, pie! I like the use of the sticker elements for the shutters on the third floor, capped off with another straw roof and chimney with these horn pieces for smoke. Nice! Now turning this around and looking on the inside of this, it seems odd to me at first and not visible from the outside, save for this shop flag, is the painter's studio. But these steps are for our guard to access both his living quarters and the turret. There's no entrance or even window for this painter character. I guess you could say that they come and go through the front door of the tavern, but having a tavern/paint studio just seems odd. There really should have been an entrance for this area, just off the side of the steps ideally. Now the tavern inside itself is well done, with seating, a chest setup, and a barrel of ale. Plus, I like the floor work here as well. Above the tavern is the kitchen, which probably provides the meals for our tavern visitors, and comes fully stocked. Now this part here, why this isn't blocked off, I don't know, as it seems odd to leave open like this, with the woodpile just in the way of the foot traffic. It makes the set feel not fully thought through. Lastly, there is the tax collector's room, a nice standard room with a fun play feature to show off how corrupt our friend is, as he seems to be stashing some of the taxes for himself, along with some drink and cheese. Jerk. What can I say about this set? I do like it. Not as much as I hoped I would, as there seem to be a couple flaws and some glaring omissions. What I do like is the price. At $230 for well over 3,000 pieces, you get a lot for what you pay for. With the blacksmith shop retired, I do hope we see more castle-themed sets. I think a remake of the jousting set is in order. Or better yet, something completely new and unexpected, like a really big wizard's tower. Let me know what castle set should come next. And don't forget to like and subscribe.